Alright, so far when I was making my videos, I always been talking about characters from Nintendo, like Mega Man and Super Mario. So, that being said, I threw in Sonic the Hedgehog here. And instead of this being a normal video essay, I made it so it's a ranking of every classic Sonic stage on the Sega Genesis. So, instead of wasting any more time, let's hop right into it. The rules are pretty simple. No special stages and no games from Sonic Mania. That being said, I am adding Sky Chase and Doomsday Zone. All the games will be ranked worst from best, so let's get started. Number 40, Sky Chase Zone. What is there to say about Sky Chase? It's not a really well-designed stage, it's just to progress the story. It's more of a cutscene than a stage, so let's move on. Number 39, Doomsday Zone. Same thing goes for this. This is more of just a cutscene, but this cutscene also has a really cool boss fight at the end, so that's why I put it above Sky Chase. Number 38, Labyrinth Zone. Although it has a 10 out of 10 song to go along with the stage, this stage has everything terrible that shouldn't be in a Sonic stage. Things such as slowly moving platforms and just going slow in general, that's not for Sonic. This is also a reoccurring problem in a lot of stages in Sonic 1, but let's keep going. Number 37, Metropolis Zone. On first glance, there's nothing that bad about this zone. The two acts aren't very hard, and I do find it weird that there's no boss at the end of Act 2. Oh, maybe it's because there's a boring and slow third act. There is nothing good about this act because it's so slow. And when it's not busy being so slow, it's unbearable. It's unbearable because it's so hard. And then there's that wait you have to wait for till you get to the boss fight, which is like 30 seconds long, where you just stand still and do nothing. Like, this stage is not that good. Number 36, Sandopolis Zone. Although I love the way this zone is designed, there's nothing that great about it. Though, to be fair, there isn't anything inherently bad about it. I just didn't enjoy this zone as much as the other zones in Sonic and Knuckles. I just feel that every other zone in Sonic and Knuckles besides the Doomsday Zone is better than this one. Oh, people are gonna hate me for these ones. 35 to 31. Tribal Tempest, Wacky Workbench, Quartz Quadrant, Collision Chaos, and Metallic Madness. None of these stages I named are memorable. Sure, some of them might be more fun than others, but they're all pretty boring in my opinion. Most of them even have like these dumb gimmicks in the middle of the level. I wonder what this guy's least favorite classic Sonic game is. And if you couldn't tell already, I just don't like Sonic CD in general. I don't see the appeal in this game. That being said, there are still 2 more levels in this game I ranked pretty high. Number 30, Scrap Brain Zone. Scrap Brain Zone isn't that bad for the first 2 acts. It's a pretty fun stage. There are some slow parts, but that's not too bad. And there is this part in the level where there's these balls that you have to go into. Pause. They're like electronic magnet ball spinning thing. You know, there's not a good way to explain it. And at the end of Act 2, there's this cool little cutscene thing, which I'll just let you watch.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
The moment this stage was going strong, they added this terrible remix zone. Why would they add a 4th act to the worst Sonic stage ever? This stage is unfun, slow, and unrewarding. And then they just added this? Like, come on, this just made this stage 10 times slower and made
What do you like? If you
probably most people not want to play this game. Not gonna lie, the first time I got this far, I just quit the moment I got to this stage. Like, why Labyrinth Zone again? Number 29, Marble Zone. This stage has the same problems that Labyrinth Zone has. Slow, boring, and unrewarding. So there's not much else to say, so moving on. Number 28, Mystic Cave Zone. Don't get me wrong, this stage is great, with a great atmosphere and great level design. This song is absolutely a banger, too. I just think there are other levels in Sonic 2 that are more memorable and better, including Number 27, Oil Ocean Zone. The same thing that went for Mystic Cave Zone goes towards this zone, except I like this stone just a little bit more. And that's mainly for the parts with the oil slides. I just really love the oil slides for some reason. Number 26, Final Zone. There's not much to say about this zone, it's just kind of a big boss fight, but the boss fight is extremely fun. And I also like at the very end where if you jump and hit Eggman at the very end, his ship will start to explode. Number 25, Flying Battery Zone. While not my favorite zone from Sonic & Knuckles, it's still a really solid zone. I love how there's inside and outside parts to the zone. And though the Sonic Mania version won't be mentioned in this video, the Sonic Mania version just extends this zone so well. Number 24, Death Egg from Sonic & Knuckles. This is a very unique version of the Death Egg, which I think is supposed to be inspired by the Death Star 2 from Return of the Jedi. I'm pretty sure this is the case due to the huge reactor thing in the background. But overall, the stage is a lot longer than the version from Sonic 2, but I feel like I like the Sonic 2 version a little more. Number 23, Hidden Palace from Sonic 2. Although the footage playing in the background is from the beta version of Sonic 2, I'm mainly talking about the Taxman version of Hidden Palace. For those who don't know, Taxman is Christian Whitehead who made Sonic Mania and the Sonic 1 and 2 ports for mobile. The only differences between the two are the level design and the music, but overall they're both extremely fun stages. Number 22, Wing Fortress Zone. I'm not the biggest fan of this zone, but it's a pretty good zone, and it also has really good music. The sound effects are really annoying, just listen to the propellers. But despite the annoying sound effects, the boss is extremely hard in this level too. But overall, the level is not that bad and it has good music. Number 21, Palm Tree Panic. This is one of my favorite Sonic CD stages, actually one of the two I actually like. This is kind of just like Green Hill, but for a little better actually. Although Green Hill is ranked higher, I just like Green Hill a little more because this Palm Tree Panic has this weird like 3D thing happening. That's why I put Green Hill higher. Number 20, Launch Base Zone. I really like this zone. If Sonic 3 was its own game without Sonic & Knuckles, this would be probably the perfect ending. It's not necessarily the best stage from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, but it's also not the worst. And for the music, I actually prefer the non-Michael Jackson version, which is what you're hearing in the background right now. But overall, the stage is pretty good. Number 19, Marble Garden Zone. Another great stage from Sonic 3. There's a reason a lot of these stages are on the top from Sonic 3, and that's partially because in my opinion, Sonic 3 has the best level design out of all of the Sega Genesis games. I used to get this one mixed up with Marble Zone, but I know which one's way better. I'll give you a hint, this one's better. But I do really love this stage. I think it's one of the most memorable Sonic 3 stages. Number 18, Hilltop Zone. There's not much to really say about this stage, it's just a solid stage from Sonic 2. Number 17, Aquatic Ruin Zone. Out of all the water levels, this one's easily my favorite, mainly because you don't have to go in the water. But it is still lower due to the fact that there's water in the stage. The moment you get in the water sections on the stage, you're just kind of stuck there for the rest of the stage. This level is very tedious and annoying, so I'd put it pretty low. Number 16, Hidden Palace Zone. I like the Sonic 3 version of Hidden Palace more than the Sonic 2 version, even though the Sonic 2 version is an actual level and the Sonic 3 version is just basically a cutscene. There is one thing about this cutscene that makes it the best cutscene in any Sonic game. Right before the end of the stage, when you go through the tunnel thing in Majig, the light thing, you get to fight Knuckles, which is, I think this is the only time you get to fight Knuckles in a 2D Sonic game. This fight isn't necessarily hard, but it's still super fun, just to fight one of the characters that you've been seeing and just wanted to punch the whole time, you know? But at face value, this stage is pretty good for being a 1.5-minute long cutscene.
So, from here till number from my voice somehow got corrupted. So, until the top 4 you get me. AI John. It's pretty cool levels design, but besides that there's not much to say. Number 14 Sky Sanctuary. Another great level. It's just like a better version of Launch Base. I do love this stage thought, so moving on. Number 13 Hydro City before. I even start it's Hydro City, not Hydracity, it's 2 words. But the stage is fun and creative. Number 12 Carnival Night Zone. Almost everything about this stage is great. Except one thing, watch this video of Atsun KEV show you. The Barrel of Doom. It sucks, but moving on. Number 11 Chemical Plant Zone. Not much to say here, because everyone knows it. Number 10 Casino Night Zone. Gambling, 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 gambling. Number 9 Spring Yard Zone. This stage is really fun, but could be a bit faster. I do know a lot of people don't like this stage, but I really do. Number 8 Death Egg Zone from Sonic 2.
Big robot, very cool me. Have monkey brain, oh good.
Number 7 Angel Island Zone. This cutscene talks for the whole stage. but overall one of the better first stages in a Sonic game. Number 6, Stardust Speedway. This is only really this high because of the race against Metal Sonic in Act 3. Number 6, Mushroom Hill Zone. This zone is another great opening, but this one is for Sonic and Knuckles. I also like how the seasons change.
Number 4, Green Hill Zone. This stage is so extremely high for being the most overrated Sonic the Hedgehog 1 stage, or just the most overrated Sonic stage of all time. It's featured in every Sonic game at this point, but the stage isn't actually that bad. I just feel like it's overrated. But it's pretty good, yeah. Not much to complain about. Number 3, Emerald Hill Zone. So this is Sonic 2's version of Green Hill Zone, and I actually think it's better than Green Hill. Sure, the stage design is a lot worse in Sonic 2 than in the original game, but it's not a bad stage. It's better than Green Hill. Although it is possible to get every Chaos Emerald from the checkpoints are so, widely spread out in the most random places that it's going to be impossible if you want to get all the Chaos Emeralds in the first level. But the stage is pretty fun, just in general. Number 2, Starlight Zone. In my opinion, and just again to be clear, I'm going to say it again. In my opinion, Starlight Zone is the best stage from Sonic 1. It's not necessarily a fast stage, but it's a super memorable stage with super memorable music. And even though it doesn't technically take place in space, whenever somebody asks me to think of the first space level from a retro game, I come up with this level. That being said, I didn't know it took place in space till a few days ago, so... But being a level from Sonic 1, it's one of the best levels. And it's probably the best level from Sonic 1. And now, drumroll please for the best Sonic stage. Number 1, Ice Cap Zone. Although mostly being remembered for the one with the snowboard, this level is actually a really great level. And I know probably almost nobody agrees with this opinion, but this is still my opinion, and I think this is the best Sonic stage on the Sega Genesis. So, that being said, what are your guys' favorite Sonic stages? Maybe give me a top 5 in the comments. And remember to like and subscribe and wear a seatbelt.